And I'm Wesley Tubbs, top political correspondent with CNN News. Today I'm privileged to be here with the President of the United States, Mr. George W. Bush. Mr. President, your overall ratings are slumping, and it seems as if the American people just don't know you anymore. I'm going to give you the opportunity to connect with the public. Please, use this time to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah. What's my motherfucking name? Get out my face, peon. Bring me my crown and scepter. Yeah, kiss the ring, bitch. Let me tell you who I am. I'm a war president, elected with such a precedent. Oppression, aggression, and congressional blessing. I move our troops to recruit oil and loot. Universal soldiers killing high of you. First you got to shoot, then ask questions later. First I bomb Saddam and Baghdad's a crater. Death to all haters, commentators, and naysayers. Either you with us or later we gon' annihilate you. We drop the towers, that was ours. Can you even imagine how we be smashing with a passion? Send out rations, we the humanitarians. For the age of Aquarius, study Alexander and Darius. It's the nefarious, diabolical, sometimes silly and illogical. Pray to satanical demons and mythological, astrological charts. My cabinet follow those when I get the call. I follow those, my father knows. Kings and queens, higher sheiks, the dope dealers, popes, the poppers, dignitaries, the witch doctors. Behind the scenes, I'll be high off coke, selling arms and dope while niggas is scapegoats. I'm a war president that never served a day. No, give me all your sons and daughters to go and play. Hit a God, I pray, but never once say his name. It's the big bad W Bush on display. Some friends, Romans and countrymen, corporate interests and money men, all tycoons, bankers and funny men. Crowd all around the truck cause it's money to spend. Made from thin air when my word declares. They call it laissez-faire, but it ain't that fair. This is hard times, I got an axe to grind. You better sell me your soul for a peace of mind. We got terrorists, communists, Islamic dominance. So I'm like Spartacus on them anarchists. Found in blood, an oath drawn in tears. 33rd's the word, my comrades converge. They got a good strategy, even though the world's mad at me. Tragedy is exactly how it gotta be. The state of the union is totally fucked. So I ride in a bulletproof truck, bringing the rock. Military is so necessary. Next I pop Iran's cherry. You won't dare me, gotta take this attention off all of my boys. Fucking with little boys, deploy the decoy. Got coops, nuts, and conspiracy theorists. Patriot Act 2 turned them into terrorists. The Fourth Reich, my political coup. Just call me King George, bitch. What the fuck you gonna do?
Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, family. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. While you have a shot, it's your brother, Mouth IQAhmath, first name, IQ is all the same. Peace and blessings to everybody that's tapping in today for another DSTM episode. I had to kind of mute that song a little bit. At the beginning, there was some cuss, and I missed the end. The algorithm with YouTube, man, they be listening in for any profanity and whatnot, man, and they get to knocking the. I forgot that song had, some particular explicitives, as they say. But I thought that was a necessary song. Shout out to my brother Abaji who made that song. And if you heard the beginning, George Bush was the president. So that's how far back that song goes. I think that might have been 05, somewhere around there when brothers have recorded that. But if you recognize the things that he was talking about and the things that we was already in the midst of discussing and building on was, the incoming wars. You made mention of, Saddam Hussein, Iran being next. Very similar to the things that Wesley Clark, that general that was talking about, remember he said they were going to destroy 7 countries in 5 years. And I don't recall when that the interview with that general came out, but I know for sure we was tracking it for a hot minute, and brother put it out there on record and on wax, as they say. So and just kind of acknowledging, man, the conspiracy theory, everything that's going on that we see now. I mean, brothers are talking about that damn near going on 20 years ago. Yeah, '05. Good Lord. Whew. Your brother's dating himself, but it's all good, man. Proud to be here with the family, man. Proud to have been around for that long, man, and being a contributor to the community. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, man. Prayerfully, man, everybody's well. Oh, there goes my brother, man. Karat's in the house. Shalom to you, right? Shalak in the house. Uziel and Malachi, shalom to y'all. Naquab in this house, shalom to y'all. Shalom to Sharper Rock. There you go. Rosemary, all the way in London, man. Salute to my sister out there, man. Blessings to you, sis. Kohath, there go my steady running mate right there, man. Kohath, always in the house, man. Shalom to Parah Ma in the house of Bayan. Shalom to y'all. Prayerfully, y'all are well. I heard y'all a little under the weather. Got some mighty prayers being sent up for y'all. Praying for your fast recovery, man. Hopefully, y'all are getting well. Sister Catherine in the house. Shalom. Brother Jason, there you go. Shalom, huh? Shemai, my brother, all the way out there in Trinidad, man. Shalom to you, brother. Hopefully, you well. In the house of Byron, shalom to y'all, man, and anybody and everybody else is gonna be tapping in, man, checking in, saluting the saints, shalom to you. Do I need to go back and archive all of the DSTMs? How many times have I been saying, man, 2025 is gonna be an interesting year. Strap up, get ready, it's going down. And nonetheless, come January 1st. So-called January 1st, 2025, the fireworks is already kicked off, right? And y'all know we've been tracking this for a minute. And excuse me, I'm not gonna pat myself on the back at all. I give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. And not to say I'm the only one that's been speaking on such matters, but the scriptures say, man, when the prophet speaks of something and it comes to pass, know that he's been sent to the Lord. That's all real, man. And again, I'm not patting myself on the back. I'm just reading the scriptures. I'm just blessed with the spirit that the Most High has, garnered my attention to certain things, and being a watchman for the community, and just trying to get everybody prepared and know what's going on. We always got to stay rooted in the faith, stay rooted in fearing the Most High, staying diligent with the keeping of the commandments, blocking out the noise, because Lord knows they're going to be ringing all kind of bells and all kind of whistles and trying to distract and divert your attention away from things that are necessarily or the things that are necessary for us to understand and know how much closer we are to our deliverance, because it all is surrounded around us. At the end all be all, whether you like it, love it, understand it, or don't, everything that we see going on the earth is surrounded around you, so-called Blacks, Native Americans, and Hispanics, and our redemption and the vengeance of our Father. By Hashem HaMashiach Yahushua. Everything that we see, the earth, the animals, the disease, the plague, everything is waiting on us. Everything. Okay. And we're on a mission. We're on a mission to get that understood and completed. Let me see something real quick, and then we'll get started, man. Hopefully everybody is solid, man. If you have not already, man, be sure that you wipe your feet. You came up in here, man. Show some respect, huh? Show some respect. Wipe your feet. Hit the like button, man. Let's get the algorithm kicking. I purposely waited, to the end of the week. I was tempted to jump online on the first and discuss about the bombings and the New Orleans situation and everything, but I said no, let the smoke clear, because as always there's things that happen after the fact. The first reports aren't always the most accurate. You got to wait a little bit and then compare and contrast. Look for multiple witnesses, as the scriptures call us to do, and then formulate an understanding behind it. That's what I do. I don't run with the first story, the first thing that pops up. Sometimes When it's understood and it's clear, yeah, I run out there and I'll do that. But for the most part, I've learned let's let some things unfold first. There's going to be storylines and narratives and things that's going to be coming out that can add to the information that's getting put out there. So, that's what we do. That's how we get it rocking, man. So, y'all can see, man, New Year's starting off with a bang already. We're only 4 days in and got a lot to discuss, let alone there's more current events that we need to get on with. So I'm not going to delay any longer. Let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to get this PowerPoint up and then we'll get right to it. Why is this not working? If I'm coming in clear and y'all can hear me, man, do your brother a solid and throw that 7 in the chat for me. Hopefully I am. If I am coming in clear, throw a 7 in the chat for me. Do me that solid, would you please? Appreciate y'all, family. All praises. Okay, cool. So we're going to get right into it. As usual, we're always looking at what's the status of the war. Typically, like what we're dealing with over there in Ukraine and Russia right now, it's winter season. Things slow down. So there's not going to be a whole lot of, action and discussion that's going on over there because of the weather conditions kind of make things simmer down a little bit. But it's still on and cracking over there. Don't get it twisted, right? Look at this. Thousands of British soldiers to take part in NATO war games on the border of Ukraine. So we already know that NATO in 2024, so-called 2024, conducted the largest NATO drills ever. Right? And they said they had 300,000 troops. They were running all kind of drills and war game scenarios or whatnot. And now British soldiers are now popping their heads out saying, hey, we've been over here. We know they've already been there. But now they're saying thousands are going to take part in the NATO war games on the border of Ukraine. They've already been there, along with U.S. troops, other NATO soldiers over there, right? But they're inching closer towards the border of Ukraine, which now heightens the threat for Russia to react. Because here you have enemies popping up closer to them. This is what led to the whole thing. I see. Yeah, we're going to talk about that in a minute, Naquab, about the whole Vegas thing. That's a whole interesting thing too, and a lot of games being played with that. But yeah, as we see here, British soldiers are moving in. Now remember, they were already. I covered an article maybe about a month ago, maybe a little longer, that British soldiers, they were down because of their budgeting. They had to reduce their military spending. And they had to cut costs on a whole lot of things. Right, Britain, the British are not ready for no damn war. That's why they're so eager to instigate the rest of the NATO nations to get involved with this thing. If it was one-on-one, I mean, Great Britain be swiped out. Sorry, Rosemary. And Brother Joshua and the rest of y'all that's out there in the UK, man. This, I ain't talking to you. But Esau against Esau, right? Country against country, man. Russia would swipe them out in a minute. One bomb, done. But they are steadily egging on the rest of the NATO nations to get this war cracking, right? So there's thousands of British troops. They're going to join a 2-month-long exercise in Romania, rehearsing rapid deployments to counter Russian threats and showcase NATO's defense readiness. Soldiers are set to begin arriving in the country, which borders Western Ukraine, within days. The 2-month exercise will rehearse the deployment of the new Allied reaction force to counter Russian threats. Top brass hope it will showcase NATO's ability to defend every inch of the territory. See, this also is kind of indicative of them knowing how much closer and how much more the European nations have to get ready for war, because, to my knowledge, Agent Orange is not going to continue the blank check funding of Ukraine anymore. I believe this last little budget that they did for to avoid the government shutdown in December for the next 3 months. I believe that. Let me see. I don't want to misquote, but I do believe that they set them up with little rations to make sure. Let me see. How much did they get? U.S. disperses 3.4 billion in the budget to Ukraine. So they still dumped 3.4 billion. Can you imagine? Let's see here. President Slow Biden said about Russia's brutal war of aggression. The stakes in this fight extend far beyond Ukraine. Blah 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 blah. The president's fiscal year 2025 budget request includes a $1.5 billion for countering the Kremlin's aggression, the 482 million request for Ukraine, along with the national security supplement. So this is just a request. They got 482 million. Did they get it though? No, that was in March of 2024. Get out of here. Yeah, we know that they were trying to get. Okay, so this is 4 days ago. U.S. disperses 3.4 billion in budget aid for Ukraine, Yellen says. So they just gave them 3.4 billion. And I know Agent Orange was upset with that because he wanted a ceiling cap on the money and all of that. But they gave him some money. So more than likely, as much as he's been talking about it, and Mike Johnson, the head of the finance or whatever that dude's Speaker of the House position is, they're trying to cut off Ukraine, or don't want to be, having blank checks for them, right? So here we go. With that being understood, right? The NATO nations know if America cuts off the pipeline of flowing of cash and defense weapons and F-16s and the Abrams tanks and everything, if that gets cut off, then they know. They're not going to support like America has. America's been the one dumping in the most funds. Sure, some of the other NATO countries have been contributing money, but not like the Great Horde. The Great Horde knows that all nations are dependent upon them, or this place, I should say. So they're getting more prepared for war because eventually the tap's going to run dry and they're going to have to gear up. All right. So this is what is indicating to me. The fact that they're extending their military drills, in particular British soldiers, lets it be known. And we've heard France also was trying to get it on. All of the above, right? Top brass hope it will showcase NATO's ability to defend every inch of the territory. It comes 8 months after our troops joined another NATO exercise, Swift Response in Estonia, billed as the biggest since the Cold War. A source said it's important to make sure our boys, are prepared for anything. These exercises are vital to ensuring that it is essential that as a country, we do everything we can to make sure our soldiers are the best in the world. The latest exercise, named Steadfast Dart, comes after a signed defense treaty with Romania last month. So we see where this is headed. Moving on. Hamas forces are making a substantial comeback in the Gaza Strip. The comeback kids, huh? Remember last week we were just talking about saying, they pretty much has been quiet on Hamas and what's going on over there in Palestine, right? Everything has been shifted towards Syria. Everything's been shifted towards Lebanon. Everything's been shifted towards Iran and Israel. And we don't know. I guess, the Jerusalem Post heard me and they said, well, let's give them an update. Let's tell them what's going on because they sure have been quiet. Hamas forces are making a substantial comeback in the Gaza Strip. New estimates gauge that the Hamas forces are up between 12 and 23,000. So I guess, Hamas ain't done. They're still fighting. Hamas is making a substantial comeback by recruiting new forces, Channel 12 reported, and the Jerusalem Post confirmed on Wednesday night. So that means, that the GMO false imposters, the non-organic peoples over there occupying our land. They're going to turn it up again, back on Hamas. As soon as they get, Netanyahu off the hook for his, alleged war crimes and, him serving out his warrant and him being in international court right now, trying to clear his name and get some more excuses and sympathetic, words across the courts, right? Before they get to lighten stuff up again. But Hamas is still around. They supposedly are making a quote unquote substantial comeback. So there's my answer. Jerusalem Post told me, hey, you want some more information? You want to hear more about Hamas here? All right. I hear you. Let's move on. Kilbit, exiled Syrian tyrant Bashar al-Assad is poisoned in an assassination bid which left him struggling to breathe. So they're not done with him. They've already managed to overthrow Syria. Now they're throwing it up for grabs between Turkey and Israel. Whoever the Great Whore wants to establish as the new kingpin to maintain control over Syria, which is one of the 7 countries that, General Wesley Clark acknowledged. They still want control of the Middle East. They still want control of the oil, the resources. They still want the military positioning. This is part of the Kings of the East, the Euphrates drying up to prepare for the warfare that's coming in. So it's going to have open season where troops, countries are moving in to more strategic positions. So we see this happening in real time. And now they ain't done with Bashar al-Assad. They try to poison him. A poisoning attempt has been made on ousted dictator Bashar al-Assad. It has been claimed the toppled Syrian tyrant has been under Vladimir Putin's protection in Moscow since December 8th of last year. But an online account, General SVR, supposedly run by a former top spy in Russia, says he's taken ill on Sunday. It claims Assad 59 asked for medical help, then almost immediately began to cough violently and choke. The source said there is every reason to believe an assassination attempt was made. Assad said to have been treated in his apartment and his condition is supposedly stabilized on Monday. Now, if he's under the care and the watchful eye of Putin, and this is a supposed assassination attempt, that means he has nobody he can trust. Remember, Putin told him initially, don't come over here if you run it. He said, don't come over here if you're running, right? He initially told him, you can't come over here, I'm not with it. And if we remember, let's look at this in Sirach 37. And this is why he said that, right? Now, Sirach 37:11, it says, neither consult with a woman touching of her of whom she is jealous. So, this also, I remember breaking this down to, this is twofold when it comes down to consulting matters of which a woman is jealous of, but also a woman should not be consulting counsel from another sister that is jealous of her, because you're going to get false counsel. You're going to get some envious or some jealous feedback that could make your situation even worse. So, sisters, you got to be very discerning on who you are talking with and exposing your business to, because you never know. It's cutthroat out there sometimes, especially among women. There's a lot of, competition and spirit of jealousy that rises up. That could be envious of your marriage, envious of your job, envious of, your growth in the spirit, the fact that you can sew, you can cook. It gets real petty. Very petty. And then you bring something over there and said most I said, man, don't consult with a woman for whom she's jealous. If a woman is jealous of you, that's not the one you go talk to. Right? And as a counselor and as a man, for the men that do the counseling, you don't call the witness in particular matters of counsel. Oh, get sister such and such in here so we can settle the matter. and you know them two sisters don't get along, or you know that there's issues between them, you're going to have a biased counsel. So that's just one side note, right? Continuing on. It says, neither consult with a woman touching her whom she is jealous, neither with a coward in matters of war. So, you know, when Putin initially told Assad, like, nah, you can't come over here. He's in the midst of fighting off Ukraine, NATO, America, everybody else, propaganda, you know, news stations. He's in the midst of war and he ain't begging. People are coming to his aid. China's coming to his aid. North Korea is coming to his aid. Turkey is, Iran has already acknowledged that they are on board. We just seen Pakistan now getting uh, uh, nuclear guidance assistance, right? But Assad and Syria, man, they've always been begging and holding a hand out. So he's like, look, man, if you running, we can't deal with that. We at the end, it's fourth quarter right now. You just got toppled, and we've been helping you, but you're not really extending out a type of aggression that's going to be needed to maintain here. But I guess he had a sympathetic ear. Let him hang, and let him breathe. But now all of a sudden, Assad is coming up poisoned under the care and watch of Putin. Very interesting. Unless they're saying there's a NATO plant in there, or there's a Israeli plant in there, something that was able to get some poison across and take him out. If not, all roads lead towards Putin and somebody in his regime. Yeah, I'm trying to see where that article was. Yeah, see there. Russians concocted a plot to smuggle Assad out of Syria using a ghost jet. I'm trying to find that article that I had where he told him he couldn't come out. He couldn't come over there. If y'all remember, you seen it because he wanted to send his wife and kids over there first. And he was like, okay, cool. And then doubled back and told him, man, don't run. Anyway, let's stay focused. Here we see. Now he's getting poisoned. So is that going to turn up things a little bit more? Lord knows. We'll see. We'll see. Right now, Syria has nothing to offer. Nothing to offer. Right? And even in Second Ezra, I believe it's 16, it tells you that they were going to be a player in this World War III scenario. Second as a 16-1. This is why it's important we're paying attention to what's happening over there, because we see all the strategic positioning that the Israelis are doing to try to gain control over Syria. Turkey is over there trying to position themselves as Turkey is backed away from the EU. Turkey has acknowledged openly that they don't like America. However, they're playing nice because they want power. They want to be able to establish rule and dominance over there. They want to spread, Islam and all of that, right? But we see here, Second Ezra 16:1 says, woe be unto thee, Babylon and Asia. Woe be unto thee, Egypt and Syria. So we're seeing all parts of the earth is going to be hit. Babylon being here in the Western Hemisphere, spiritual Babylon, speaking about America. Asia, you got Eurasia, speaking of China, Russia, North Korea, so forth and so on. Egypt, so you got the continent of Africa and African and all of the particular nations that are involved over there, from Yemen to the Sudan. What's the one that just fell in northern Africa? Libya, all of these particular nations that we're seeing involved. And then we also see Syria, located in the so-called Middle East, and the surrounding countries around there. They're all going to be involved in this. And Syria is being highlighted in particular because a lot of things involving the escalation of World War III and the quote unquote Middle East countries are surrounded around what happened in Syria. So gird up yourselves with cloths of sack and hair. Bewail your children and be sorry, for your destruction is at hand. A sword is sent upon you, and who may turn it back? A fire is sent among you, and who may quench it? So we see everything is already in motion. You know, Agent Orange, we already see his whole cabinet is in chaos. They're divided. They just got through voting on Speaker Mike Johnson. I don't even know if they reelected him or not. I tuned out on that. And Salaki, waiting to see what's going to happen with that. You know, they already had issues with the budget. We see that there's a whole lot of sabotaging going on before even the Trump can go get seated in his throne. There's a whole lot of chaos that's going on in between that. So he's not finna make America great again. Ain't nothing finna change, right? He's about to run into a burning house. And he's so prideful, man. He think he's got the, you know, the red, white, and blue tie on, and think it's, you know, it's the cape of America, like he's Superman. He can run into the burning building, you know, blow it out and save everybody up in there and rebuild it up on white supremacy. No, that ain't happening, man, at all. And this just shows you the desperate measures that America's at this point, man. It's over with. All right. So let's move on back over here. Continuing on. Now, look at this. Moldova faces an energy crisis as the flow of Russian gas ends. Russia and Ukraine, even though they're at war, they still had contractual agreements to allow gas flowing through Ukraine to get into Europe. Now, they killed that deal. Ukraine is cut off the flow of gas and their agreements with Russia, right? And they thinking, oh, we're hurting Russia. We're hitting them in the pockets. That's billions of dollars that they're not going to be able to collect from Europe, right? But guess what? A lot of these European countries that were dependent upon Russian gas now are going to be jacked up because they have no flow of gas anymore. No oil, no nothing that they can get right now. So where and who are they going to come crying to? Yep, you guessed it. You know they're going to come to America for help. They're going to come to America because, remember, Saudi Arabia, they're under the BRICS now. Either way, everything circumvents back to Russia and its conglomerate. They can't go to Russia they can't go to Saudi Arabia for gas and oil. They don't have the pipelines prepared to go through there, let alone they're already in conglomerate with the BRICS. So one of the biggest nations that have oil reserves and oil resources is America. Now, America's going to have to break bread to try to support the rest of its, the rest of its merchants, as the scriptures say, that are sucking on the poison teat of this gray whore. They're gonna be sucking even more. They're gonna be fighting over the nipple. And guess what that's gonna do for us? Hypothetically, that can cause our reserve or whatever America's got, the oil reserves and the gas reserves to become more scarce, which means what? Price is gonna go up again. But we'll see. On New Year's Day, Russian gas stopped flowing through Ukraine. Kiev is calling it a historic day as its refusal to extend a transition agreement with Russian Gazprom has halted the return flow of cash to fund the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. You see that? So they're thinking it's all about money. They're going to return the cash to fund the full-scale invasion of Ukraine. So they're thinking if they cut off Russia's money, they won't be able to support themselves with furthering with the war. Look, did they forget about the BRICS? Did they forget that they already have the alternatives to create currency and money? America tried that with sanctions. Russia's still been flowing steady. The sanctions have not done anything. Trying to hit them financially in the pockets is not going to work, man. China's going to fully be in support. India's going to be in support. Brazil's going to be in full support. Saudi Arabia, all the other countries that all joined the BRICS, and the rest of the 30 plus are sitting in line waiting to be a part of, they're not going to falter based upon economic status. What they did was they're going to hurt the rest of the European countries that's dependent upon that gas, especially in this cold, especially when they need their petrol. Yeah. They don't know what the hell they're doing. That's going to cause more desperation, man, more hell in these streets. Because people's going to be like, what the hell? We can't afford it. The scarcity is going to cause prices to go up. The fact that people aren't going to have power, water, heated, all of that. Look, watch this. But in neighboring Moldova, the move threatens to cause a crisis. In Transnistria, a separatist region in eastern Moldova, loyal to Moscow, the year began with only hospitals and critical infrastructure being heated, not houses. Did you hear that? So in this little place right here, Transnistria, a separatist region eastern of Moldova, loyal to Moscow, the year began with only hospitals and critical infrastructure being heated. Nobody in their homes had heat. The hot water was on until about 2 a.m. I checked. Now it's off and radiators are barely warm. Dimitri told the BBC by phone from his flat in the enclave. We still have gas, but the pressure is very low. Just what's left in the pipes. It's the same everywhere. So whatever was left in the pipes, that's what's draining forward. They're getting the last little bits before everything's turned off. So they ain't gonna have no heat, gas, power, everything that they need that revolves around oil, gas, power. You can forget about it. You ain't turning on no heat. You ain't turning on no stoves. Hot water heat. What? You taking cold showers and it's 20 below outside and 15 degrees in Europe. People's they about to get jacked up over there, man. Let me see if I can find wrestling. Let me see if I can find real quick. So MSN said they're going to say who's most at risk. Let's see if we can get a quick little list. I was hoping they'd give me a little. Europe's energy security. Slovakia. Let me see here. I was hoping I could find something really close, but we do see. Let's scroll up the top. Maybe they gave it to us off the rip. Ukraine, blah, 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 blah. The widely spent March 5 transition. Austria has insisted it is well prepared for the stoppage, but Slovakia's Prime Minister Robert Fico has threatened to cut electricity supplies to neighboring Ukraine. So they're over there fighting with each other. Yeah, I thought they'd maybe give you a nice little quick little list. Unfortunately not, but in any event, we can see here Russian gas stops flowing to Europe via Ukraine. They're going to be in a lot of trouble over there. And of course, they're going to beg. These nations are going to try to circumvent and try to find how can they can get some gas power flowing back to their countries. Remember, America already, was involved in the destruction of the Nord Stream pipeline, so that they already cut off power and gas in that aspect. Now they're cutting off gas from the power agreement from Gazprom with Russia. They're trying to ice out Europe, man. That's what it looks like to me. But let's continue on. China is building new detention centers all over the country as Xi Jinping widens corruption purge. Always remember, man, Moab is the guinea pig. Moab is the guinea pig for America. Okay. So what are they saying when they say that China is building new detention centers? They ain't talking about new prisons. You can call them quote unquote prison. These are camps. These are essentially camps that are set up for dissidents, people that's committing sedition, corruption, so forth and so on. Anybody that's not on board with China, they're creating separate camps for them, right? Now, why do I say China and Asia? They're always the guinea pigs. They're going to use them to say, will it work? You see what happened with the vid in 2019 on up. The first ones that was locking down, barricading doors, troops on the streets, tanks in front of banks, was China, right? Scooping up bodies off the streets, and what? Everybody followed suit. They've been wearing masks for years, even before the outbreak. You used to see them in China wearing masks. They used to say because of air quality in the fall, the smog and everything else. They already been doing it, and then guess what? It gets assimilated. Once America gives the green light, that's when it goes. But guess who they always use as lab rats? Yep, Moab. So here we see them building up camps, quote unquote detention centers. I already showed y'all the map with the FEMA center, the FEMA regions, the 10 FEMA regions that they already got lined up. Do they have plans on creating isolated areas, internment camps here? Absolutely. They've already been doing it. The Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi, Natchez, Mississippi, was the first quote unquote concentration camp. No, yeah, the first one. Now you're talking about World War II, Europe, and the GMO roundup that they had over there. No. Do your research on that. The Devil's Punch Bowl, post World War I, what they did to our people in Mississippi. Right? So internment camps set up, ask the Japanese, man. We know that. Everybody knows about that. To say I'll never hear, no, they'll never do that here. No way. America is the land of the free, home of the brave. We're about freedom over here. Really? Look at this. Second is 1546. And thou, Asia, that art partaker of the hope of Babylon. See, they are in cahoots. Regardless of what we're hearing about, we see, oh yeah, China, America, they're at war. They still have business deals. China buys American debt. They're buying up real estate. They're making money together. A lot of things that we see on TV between political parties is all, a lot of it is theater. Behind closed doors, man, they making money together and they rolling. I've showed y'all a number of different instances where we see Moab, Ammon, and Esau all working together. They've historically had a bond through the scriptures, right? All the time they've been rolling together. So it should be no surprise that we see this type of thing going on. They're a partaker in the hope of Babylon. They are partaking in hoping that Babylon continues its rule, because without Babylon ruling and the establishment that America has set up as being the mother of harlots and all that, man, China wouldn't be what it is. America is one of the, if not the biggest import of Chinese goods and services. This is why they let them flood over here, and they're the biggest migrants the country has. This is why you see Agent Orange, the chump, and Elon Musty, and the rest of them talking about what is it, the H-1B visas or whatever. Oh, we want the smart ones. You can be a migrant, but you got to be smart. You got to be able to contribute to America. Yeah, so they want them engineers from India. They want the scientists and whoever else coming from China. They want the technological advancements they can get from whatever said country. They'll take them. But see, this is how Asia, and in this instance, China, contributes to the hope of Babylon. Well, they sit up here and they utilize guinea pigs on their people. Dealing with population control, China was the model. They had a one-child policy. You could only have one kid in China. And now I think they recently extended it. Organ harvesting, where China is involved in that heavily. What do you call it? Facial recognition, the ID, the digital IDs, all that other stuff, man. They spy on your neighbors, see something, say something. All that was started over there, man. I can't think of the initial what do they call it, man? The surveillance systems, you know, with the damn cameras all over the place, watching everybody, monitoring. It's all started over there. And then guess what? It comes over here, assimilates. And America says, hey, good work, Moab. Good work. We see that it works. We see how the people will react. The social experiments that go on, man, they're really sitting up here lining everybody up. And then America assimilates it over here. See this? And thou, Asia, thou art partaker of the hope of Babylon, and art the glory of her person. Woe be unto thee, thou wretch, because thou hast made thyself like unto her, and hast decked thy daughters in whoredom. Who's the biggest hoe on strolling up and down the proverbial strip? America. That they might please and glory in thy lovers, which have always desired to commit whoredom with thee. Thou hast followed her that is hated in all her works and inventions. Therefore saith the Most High, I will send plagues upon thee, widowhood, poverty, famine, sword, and pestilence, to waste thy houses with destruction and death. Yeah. China, man, they over there living in boxes. You dig what I'm saying? Like, they over there are still suffering. The people ain't over there striving. That's why they scrambling to get over here. They no different. They keep talking about Central America, Mexico, and that. The damn Latin community running over here. Man, the damn Chinese is running over here in droves. They slanging fentanyl through Mexico. They're doing all kind of evil. This is why they get hit with the plagues, the earthquakes, the floods, you know, widowhood. Over there, man, you know, the damn Chinese, man, and especially in Japan, too. They ain't marrying. They ain't having no seeds, man. They too busy marrying AI, fake digital girlfriends. And I remember years ago, man, I shared a story when we was still at True Nation. There was a story of a damn Moabite that married a hologram. This is what they up to, man. This is why there's widowhood. I mean, these dudes getting killed off and body parts being sold. Poverty, famine, sword and pestilence, to waste the houses with destruction and death. That's what they got coming to them, all in the name of power, control, dominance, and to be under the damn wing of America. This is why they're cozying up with whichever Edomite man can utilize them the best, whether it's Russia, whether it's America. And as of right now, Russia is gaining their, you know, they've gained the favor of Russia, and they're rolling with you know, Putin. Either way, don't get it twisted, man. They both Edomites. Both Edomite-led countries, Russia or America, they're bowing down to either one. Right now, they're rolling with Russia. And that's what it is. But look at what they're doing. China has built or expanded more than 200 specialized detention facilities nationwide to interrogate suspects ensnared in Xi Jinping's widening anti-corruption drive. A CNN investigation has found. Yeah, they monitoring the internet. They got kill switches. You know, there's particular sites you can't visit. You know, people over there in China trying to use VPN to try to, you know, divert government's attention. All that's coming here, if not already here. You understand? But they're the guinea pigs. They're the hope. They're hoping that what they do contributes to America's continuing on forward. Now, it says Xi Jinping's widening anti-corruption drive. A CNN investigation has found as the Chinese leader extends his crackdown beyond the ruling Communist Party to a vast swath of public sectors. Since taking power in 2012, Xi has launched a sweeping campaign against graft and disloyalty, taking down corrupt officials as well as political rivals at an unprecedented speed and scale as he's consolidated control over the party and the military. See, that's what, they were trying to propagandize against Agent Orange over here, saying he's going to do the same thing. Oh, Project 2025, anybody that's against him, he's going to round up, he's going to do this, do that, da, 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 da. That's a lot of that is cap. But eventually, when they fully move forward with the NWO, when they really move forward with the control from the World Health Organization, and the CDC is utilized as a weapon to lock everybody down, and everybody that ain't with it, they're already monitoring and throwing everybody on damn watch lists. And you see what they're doing with the Israelites. They got watchdogs like the Southern Poverty Law Center, the ADL. They've got, these agent provocateurs within camps. They've got the Edomite apologist community, i.e. Hokab Malone and the rest of them, doing deep dive research into the histories of the Israelites, reporting it back. Remember my youngest son, they had him in a pamphlet of who was it? I can't remember if it was I think it was the Southern Poverty Law Center pamphlet that they had regarding the Hebrew Israelites, the so-called Black Hebrew Israelites. They had a picture of him and Brother Shalimah teaching out on the street as an example of here these guys are. And at the time, my son was maybe like 13, 14. I didn't authorize that, but it just shows you. They're rolling by, snapping pictures. You don't know who these people are. You Israelites, man, especially brothers, man, you better be careful who you are allowing to take pictures of you. Especially nowadays, man, with AI and manipulation of video and pictures and what's the name of that? I don't even know if they're still using it now. There's so much new technology now where you can, manipulate the arts and all that other stuff. I can't remember the name of that app, but it's on Adobe. I want to say, I don't know what PowerPoint is on my mind, but if you know what I'm talking about. Oh, there you go, Shalimah. I ain't lying. I ain't lying. There you go, right there. That's the witness. He was teaching, and my son was on there. These damn dirty ass bastards threw both of them on the damn page on their damn pamphlet. But these damn wicked ass demons, man, they out here snapping flicks, manipulating shit. Like, look, be careful out there, man. Jake don't be out running around. Oh man, they want to see us. And Esau want to mind if I take a picture? You don't know where that picture's gonna lead to. But they're building up the camps over in China, and now China's gonna flip that. There you go, Photoshop the quad. We're looking out. They're gonna use this as a model to say, okay, guess what? We can do that over here. They already got the prison industrial complex. They got plenty of investors that's already rolling. Agent Orange is one of the bigger investors too in the prison industrial complex, to my knowledge. At least he was back in the day. He definitely was investing in prisons. So the fact that they're gonna build it up, and later when you read down in 2 Ezra 16, and talk about they're gonna take some of us and feed you with things off of the idols, and try to re-educate you and get you put in a situation like Eleazar in the time of the Maccabees, the elder brother that they try to persuade to lead the people into sin by telling him, hey, just going to eat this meat. It's actually clean, but we're going to tell everybody that it's swine. All you got to do is just eat it. Fool everybody. You're going to be a king's friend and everything else. Man, that dude said, man, go to hell. I'll be damned if I lead my people down the path of destruction, man. Kill me or I'll do it myself. Long story short, and he did that. It's still up there? Good Lord. Yeah, see, these bastards are wicked in the mouth. MF, I should say. It's still up there. Wild. He said, not sure who elected him, but Slow Cat Malone is not the spokesperson for who we are. He's got. Yeah, he's a damn agent, man. I heard he got paid, man, when the bid was going down and a lot of athletes was, searching online and they started popping up, acknowledging who they were. Like Kyrie. I know I heard Carmelo Anthony. And before what's the name got turned out, what's the name? They used to play for the Suns and the Knicks. Stoudemire. I heard that and the NFL in particular, man, had a little stipend that they paid. Now I don't know how true it is. Like I said, I heard, but they paid Hocab Malone some bread, man, to go in there and be a consultant with the chaplains and all that in these particular teams to give his insight regarding it. Of course, he's become, a foremost expert on Hebrew Israelism. Anyway, enough about him. I don't even speak about. I don't waste my time speaking about heathens on here, man, to get him any light. But anyway, camps are getting built, man. China's building them up, right? Since taking power in 2012, he's coming up against anybody that's disloyal. So you can imagine America's going to be doing the same thing as they're creating profiles to round up, question, detain anybody who's considered disloyal. This is why they have all these quote unquote free social media sites so that they can monitor and watch everything. Look, I'm going to show the article in a minute. The FBI had watched the dude from New Orleans 5 hours before he did what he did. They had a social media post. Come on. They listen and watching everything, man. That's why you see brothers channels getting struck down, shadow banned, and they trying to digitally shut people up and all of that and create narratives. And next thing you know, they send in wild opposition against people and accusations. They know what they're doing, but they taking note. And you best believe you so-called Negroes and Hispanics, Native Americans, man, who have been thrown under the banner of quote Black Hebrew Israelites, we're at the top of the list. You don't really hear too much about no damn skinheads, neo-Nazis. I mean, you see them pop their little heads out every little minute, and they being provocateur by CIA and FBI being headed up. But you can see a lot of the blame shifting is going towards Negro, like which we're going to talk about in a second. If you look at both of these so-called terrorist attacks, they're trying to make excuses for the so-called white man, the white dude, Lipsberger or whatever his name is. They're trying to get him off. While the Jake, they trying to bury him. We're going to see in a minute. Now, well into his third term, the Supreme Leader has turned his relentless campaign into a permanent and institutionalized feature of his open-ended rule. And increasingly, some of the most fearsome tools he has wielded to keep officials in line are being used against a much broader section of society, from private entrepreneurs to school and hospital administrators, regardless of whether they are members of the 99 million strong party. So camps are getting built over there in China. If anything and everything that we've seen as far as them being the model of where and how America wants to be able to create a system of control, China is it. Camp centers are being built. America's going to follow suit if they ain't already got them built. Let's move on. Now look at this. New Orleans attacker posted 5 videos in hours before the attack. Now, this is prophetic alone because, America's going to get hit. And a lot of times, they want to talk about terrorism. We know the Most High is the king of terrorists, right? But at the end all be all, this is what we're seeing here. Job 18 and 11 says, terrors shall make him afraid on every side and shall drive him to his feet. So what's going to cripple and break down America to his feet is terrorism, right? They've been monopolizing, whether it's internal or not, they're doing it. I was watching a movie yesterday, and if y'all haven't seen it, watch that movie Traitor with Don Cheadle. If you haven't seen it, that's a good movie. when I seen this, it made me flash back. It made me flash back. I mean, when I seen what happened with New Orleans. And at first, when I seen the picture, I said, "Yeah, this dude look like he might be from Yemen or something." You know, he looked like he one of them African, uh, African, Muslims or whatnot, man. But when you hear the dude talk, man, he say he born and raised Beaumont, Texas. He down there, but something he got a little look to him, man, where he do look like he could be, he could come from one of these other nations. But nonetheless, he's got a military background. Supposedly, he got radicalized in the last year. Family issues, money issues, so forth and so on. But what would drive him to do what he did? If it's just about finances, your divorces, and all this other stuff, man, that would drive you to commit a quote unquote terrorist act. If you see the movie Traitor, anybody see that? Okay, UCL seen it. If you have not seen it, go watch the movie. Let me help y'all out. It's about a Jake that how you spell Cheeto? Is that how you spell his name? Yeah. Here you go, right here. All right, Trader. There's about his Jake, right? You see down here, the truth is complicated. Yeah, tell me about it. Very interesting movie, man. He's supposed to be from Sudan, race of Muslim. Pops gets, I don't want to tell too much if everybody got put to, haven't seen it, want to go see it. But his pops gets put to death in a terrorist bombing, right? He gets raised, come back out, raised in America by his mama who's from Chicago. Then he turns into a arms dealer. He starts working, freelance and doing this thing out there. And but he's a U.S. soldier. He's undercover, and he gets deeply involved with some Islamic terrorists. And the things that they allow to go down, that he witnessed, from murders to bombings to all kind of stuff, all in the name of keeping his his cover from being blown, so forth and so on, trying to stop terrorist cells that are already here in America. I mean, it flash back to that movie, and you're gonna see a lot of things that are happening now and that we're hearing about 2025 about after the New Orleans, car shootout, terrorist attack. There was, we're finding bombs. There's supposedly he didn't act alone. There's other people with bombs getting set up all over the place. The narrative of there being terrorist cells all in America right now is not ringing any more louder than right now, right? And this is 2008 when this came out. Very good movie. They talk about him being trained at Fort Bragg, same as as the Jake in New Orleans. Now I know Fort Bragg is a huge military complex. Anybody that's in the Army probably went through there. But just the fact that you can make those correlations, Now, this dude, it just kind of strikes me like, why would this dude just completely lose his mind and just flip out over wife finances? And within a year, you're completely convinced and turned out that Islam is a way and America is a devil, and go all out and kill yourself and everybody with. I don't know. Just ironic, right? But what I find even more ironic is that Slow Biden even came out and said it, that he was informed that the FBI had knowledge of his social media posts hours before he did it. And there was a stand down, or they didn't act on it. Right? The U.S. Army veteran who drove a pickup truck into a crowd of New Year's revelers in New Orleans posted a series of videos to social media in the hours before they attacked, the FBI said Thursday. The FBI revealed that the driver, Shamsu Din Jabbar, a U.S. citizen from Texas, posted 5 videos on his Facebook account proclaiming his support for the Islamic State group and previewing the violence that he would soon unleash in the city's famed French Quarter District. How do you not act on that? You know they've got the bots, the AI bots, listening for keywords, listening in. They're not alerted. They were alerted. They knew, but they said, he's easy playing. Oh yeah, nigga ain't gonna do nothing. Then I watched another video where they had a street camera that was following his car as he turned down the French Quarter Street and starts, jamming people up. If it was a stationary camera that was posted up in front of a store or whatever, the camera wouldn't move unless it was some sort of motion detected camera. But why would it only stay on his truck as it moved around? A lot of weird stuff going on. I don't know. You never take anything as face value off the rip, right? So especially when we're dealing with the devil, there's always an element of deception that comes behind any action and every action that happens in this place. So they had knowledge via him posting these things. Now, they may have told, who knows? They may have told him, man, don't worry about it. It's 3 a.m. You ride down there, man. You're going to be, we need you to carry this out. We'll get you off. He may have had some handler, told him they're going to pay him however much money to get him out of his financial rut, move him about the country. Oh, who knows? Or he could have just been a patsy that said, man, I'm ready to, do my duty for my country, man, and put me to death to kick something off. I don't know. But the fact that they had knowledge of this information beforehand, man, and did nothing, already red flag, jump up. The fact that we're hearing so much more press about this particular, don't get me wrong, they're talking about the Las Vegas thing, but what I'm hearing and seeing too is they're giving more credence to excuse for the white boy than they are to Jake. Jake, he Islamic extremist. He had the damn ISIS flag. He ran down and shot people and look at the dead bodies and ran up. The white boy, he was feeling guilty about killing people. And, he had the bulletproof Tesla. He didn't really want to kill anybody. He was just trying to get some attention. And, he was, maybe he didn't do it, And there's an interesting narrative to that Edomite too, which I'm gonna share in a minute. Now, it says they also not believe he acted alone beforehand. That's why I said we slow down, don't report it early, don't jump online, because what happened? Initially, they said they believe he didn't act alone. There's reports of other people, that there could be bombs set up all over the place and da. Now they slowed down and back down off of that, right? So they also believe he acted alone, reversing their position from a day earlier that he likely worked with others in the deadliest IS-inspired assault on U.S. soil in years. Now, if we double back to the last quote-unquote really major documented terrorist event that involved ISIS or whatever, 9/11. Then when you uncover all of those things, we see, hold on, America had involvement? ISIS leader ended up having dinner with what's his name? Anwar al-Awlaki had dinner with George Bush 2 days after 9/11. And I remember trying to find that article, man. They scrubbed it out, but I think they still have it. Let me see if we can find that real quick. They probably ain't gonna show it. Oh no, there you go. Al-Qaeda linked imam died at the Pentagon after 9/11. See that? Imagine that. That was 2010 that they finally came out with that. What's that? 9 years after that they supposedly linked them with it. Why is he having dinner with George Bush 2 days later? Then you're hearing about Building 7. The rabbit hole goes deep on that. So America's fingerprints at some point was all over 9/11. All the Institute the Patriot Act and all other surveillance systems and things like that, right? So no need to go further on that. What is this going to result in? If the FBI knew what was going on, they said, no, leave it alone. Let him ride out. Now they're going to create the narrative that, like I said, within a year, this dude got turned out in such a devout manner that none of these other sleeper cells that's over here in America had the balls to jump out and do what he did. And within a year, he's just that's the other he jumped. I'm calling BS. This is an act of terrorism. It was premeditated, and the evil acts, as Christopher Rea, the deputy assistant director of the FBI counterintelligence division, calling Jabbar 100% inspired by the Islamic State. How would you know? How is he 100% inspired? The dude's gone. I mean, unless you got intelligence that you've been watching, monitoring, and everything he did over the last year and some change, that you've got all the facts to prove it. Well, they just immediately just throw that out there. No, he's 100% inspired by ISIS. Yeah, case closed. You trying to tell me, man, the dude had no handlers within the CIA, FBI. They ain't know nothing about this guy. I mean, come on, man. They're monitoring this dude. Yeah, I know he had the flag, bro. I believe he did that on some BS. Just on, I'm not saying he didn't convert to Islam. Obviously, he changed his name or whatever. But you throw the flag in there, man, to lead. They probably gave him the flag. I don't know, man. All I know is everything don't add up with this whole thing. Was he Apache? Did they utilize him for a bigger and greater goal? America's known for doing that. Did he probably think he was going to get some bread, or they were going to take care of his family if he did what he had to do and get him up out of his debt? Maybe they offered him something, some sort of deal, but somehow, some way, man, the dude got he got turned out, and something ain't adding up. The fact that they knew, just like we can look back at 9/11 and so many other instances, school shootings and everything, they always know ahead of time. And why did they continually just let it go? It's very interesting. Look at this. Job 15:21. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon it. See, this is speaking about the wicked man and the so-called white man. A dreadful sound is in his ear. When you hear them screams of people out there reveling and partying and hanging out on Bourbon Street and all them damn bodies getting trampled and gunshots going off and bombs drop, bombs getting exploded and sirens and everything. People are having nightmares about that right now, man. When you're hearing all of these things go on the news and the bombs dropping over here or the nuke threats over here, or here comes the new plague, be ready. This is all things that's going to be happening in America. People was thinking everything's going to be great when they say, no question about that, Naquab. That's next. That's what I'm going to talk about in a second. That's a fact. At the end all be all, the Most High is the one who is punishing those that's involved in evil. As much as we can tell our people, man, leave January 1st alone, the whole nine, like they still running out there. So for sure, they're getting judged for their evils. That's a fact. A dreadful sound is in his ears. In prosperity, the destroyer shall come upon him. So what is the chump, man? What's Agent Orange running around priding himself in? What's he going to bring? I'm going to make America great again. I'm going to get everybody money. Remember after November 5th, he got elected, man, crypto booming. He talking about, you thank me now, but Bitcoin, blah, 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 blah. And, everybody bank account changed. And now that's completely reversed. What's his promise? He's going to bring prosperity back to America. And the Lord said, and when that declaration is made, when that looks like that might happen, The destroyer is going to come upon him. The Most High is going to send destruction upon this place, man. So beware. Beware. This is why people got to wake up, man, because, we're screaming from the rooftops. We're screaming from the rooftops. And our people is falling on what? Deaf ears. Deaf ears. Isaiah 53:1. Who have believed our report, and to whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed? See, we're out here giving prophetic report. We're trying to teach our people to repent. We're teaching about the folly days. We're telling our people leave those things alone, just like you left the comment regarding Janus. I don't know an Israelite camp, and don't get me wrong, I'm not watching every Israelite camp. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure there's some content regarding the Roman customs of the quote unquote New Year's and the God of beginnings and endings of Janus, idolatry, paganism, reveling, orgies, so forth and so on, man. The countdown of the calendar, dealing with how, there's no way December could be the 12th month when just by etymology alone and the prefix of deci, it means 10. Even by definition, you look in the various dictionaries that tell you September is 7, Octo 8 for October. I mean, we've been screaming from the top of our lungs. Who's believed our report? Who's telling our people, we got to know who you are? Look at the curses. Look at the color scriptures. Look at the legacy and the history of the Dark Ages. Look at our contributions when it comes down to us being a special people with inventions and health contributions to healthcare and everything that we've been able to do, sports, medicine, everything that our people have compiled, and everything we're drawing our people in, prophecy. Who's believing the report? Our people are too busy throwing up middle fingers, talking about nowadays you can't even say brothers look like genies and Power Rangers. I mean, how old is Power Rangers? And that's when brothers was out on the corners, fully girded up in the whole nine, laboring out here on these corners. Brothers had on the big trees, the garments, the whole nine. And I don't know, there's a couple of camps that still kind of wear garments, man. But I guess, changing up the times and some of the influences of the youth has kind of like, become a little bit more casual out there on the streets. Some brothers are still out there uniformed and, at least have, matching shirts or something like that. But, they should make those little declarations. Oh, brothers look like genies out there and looking like Power Rangers. And that's played out. Anybody trying to say that you definitely was not there when brothers wearing garments fully girded 10, 15 years ago. And you just hear that little slander, you hear that little quote unquote joke, and you're running with it. But damn, Power Rangers been off the TV for damn near 10 years. You gotta come up with some new material when speaking about the men of the Lord. But who have believed our report, man? To whom is the arm of Yahweh revealed? So who's actually be revealing and getting understanding? Watch this. But he shall grow up before him as a tender plant and as a root out of a dry ground. He have no form nor comeliness. And when he shall see him, where there is no beauty that we should desire. So this speaking about the prophecy of Yahweh Shai, right? But I want to drop down. I want to read verse 5 and 6. It says, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him, and with his stripes we are healed. So the redemption of the children of Israel came on the heels of Yahweh Shai being persecuted for our sakes. Remember, from Matthew 1:21, Acts 5:29 down to 30, among various other scriptures, the Most High acknowledged that Yahweh Shai was persecuted and killed for our sakes and for our redemption and for our ability to repent under the grace and mercies of Yahweh Hashem Yahushua. Now, verse 6 is key. All we like sheep have gone astray. We have turned everyone to his own way, and the Most High Yahweh have laid on him the iniquity of us all. So what happened? Our people are like sheep gone astray, and everyone's going to his own way. Which way did our people choose on January 1st? As much as we keep telling our people, stay the hell in the house, don't observe, don't celebrate, that ain't our way. It ain't the new year, so forth and so on. They want to choose their own way. They want to go run out. They want to be part of the revelry. They want to be part of the party. They want to be part of the scene. They want to go live. And a lot of the people, man, that got caught up, at least from the people who were speaking out, was Israel. Black folks getting mowed down in them streets, getting shot on Bourbon Street. I mean, what the hell are you still doing out hanging at 3 in the morning, 3+ in the morning, talking about Happy New Year and showing yourself out on the phone, man? Exodus 23:2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil, neither shalt thou speak in the cause of decline after many wretched judgments. So the main thing is not following a multitude to do evil. Our people love to be going to do evil. Yahweh even told us in Matthew 7. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. That following the crowd attitude, man, that's got to stay out of your minds. You thinking where everybody's at, that's where the Spirit of the Lord is. Where everybody's at, that's where everything's great at. And our people are learning harsh lessons that it ain't where everybody's going, is where you need to be at. Running around trying to celebrate a so-called New Year, ended up getting your ass put to death. And I guarantee you there probably was some people that got shot and ran over or whatever that probably had in their mind beforehand that they thought they wasn't going to go out. I'm sure there was somebody said, nah, I'm not going to go out. And somebody persuaded them and said, come on, we're going to have fun. Just come out for a little bit. And they changed their mind and they went. I guarantee you, at least one of them people out there had reservations that said, nah, I'm not going to go. And they got talked into going. And now whichever person that was that persuaded them is living with the guilt of, damn, I shouldn't have pushed them. It's because of me. They came out there. Yeah. That's why our people should be not following after the ways of the heathen, not following after the ways of paganism, separating ourselves, right? Look at it, Isaiah 5:25. Therefore is the anger of Yahweh kindled against his people, and he hath stretched forth his hand against them, and hath smitten them, and the hills did tremble, and their carcasses were torn in the midst of the streets. You hear about what happened in the streets, that Bourbon Street. They talking about babies was flattened out on the streets. I mean, what the hell you got your kids out there 3 in the morning for, strolling around in the street where women are running around lifting their tops up for beads. Everybody's drunk, hanging out, talking about Happy New Year, and you got kids out there. People getting mowed down in the streets, bullets flying all over the place, right? There's a couple of other articles I'm going to show. People at parties, at clubs, mass shootings everywhere. All because they want to run around, they want to follow out the pagan traditions and customs and have no idea that they should be in the damn house, not acknowledging the folly and sticking to the script. So their carcasses are torn in the midst of the streets. For all this, his anger is not turned away, but his hand is stretched out still. So the Most High still is acknowledging and saying, hey, I'm still open to you repenting. I still want you back. I still want you to get your act together. But if you don't look at these things and look at that as examples to repent and change your ways and to fall back, then I got to keep laying the heavy hammer down on you. And that's what it is. So they had knowledge about these terror attacks hours beforehand. FBI did nothing, fell back, right? Here's the other guy. Picture, Las Vegas bomber who blew up a Cybertruck outside Trump Hotel, as cops say he served at the same military bases as New Orleans mass killer Jabbar. And, you know, most will acknowledge, hey, there's a whole lot of people that come up at Fort Bragg. So you're not going to say they acted together. But coincidences just don't exist, man. Everything happens under the hand and the watchful eye of the Most High. Now, I seen a video, matter of fact, early this morning. what's the guy's name? Because I'd recommend it to you know, hold on, let me see. I'd recommend it just so that y'all can see. The Sam Ryan show. And it's a guy named Sam Shoemate. I guess he's an ex-military guy, but he's got a big Instagram channel. I guess he does memes and all kind of other stuff, whatever. But he got an email from this guy right here. He had been Livelsberger, or whatever his Edomite's name is, Livelsberger, had been reaching out to him and other media outlets trying to get his voice heard. And he basically was saying the information of these guys is going to change the course of the world, blah, blah, blah. Long story short, they read the email, they showed it, everything kind of verifiably checked out that it was him. He had his LinkedIn account. They had conversations with him and this other guy, shoemaker, whatever. I forgot his name. Nothing. But anyway, from their Signal accounts, from their encrypted emails, everything. Long story short, in the email, now this is the narrative that, this guy is putting out through his manifesto. Through all his intelligence and everything he got lined up, it was over the drones. One thing was over the drones. And he basically was saying, man, the drones are Chinese based. It's a particular technology that they got. It was just kind of China flexing, showing that they had the communications and the abilities to surveil, bomb the East Coast. And America and China are the only ones with this particular technology. Everybody needs to kind of be aware and alert and don't just take it for granted. The guy, Sean Ryan, said that he had got in contact with some FBI people and all that, and they were basically telling him, like, look, it's a domestic issue. He broken up with his wife. We end up finding out also that a DNA test was revealed that his son wasn't his. So, we're going to wrap it up as, domestic issue, possible paternity issue, blah, blah, blah. Now, in that video, they made an interesting correlation because they said that, the dude shot himself, used the remote driverless feature for the Tesla to pull up the Trump Tower, park. It was loaded with, low-level explosives and fireworks and all this other stuff. So he just wanted to draw attention to himself. Supposedly, because he could have picked a different car. He could have made a big explosive. He really wanted to take something out. So they basically were saying, oh, well, he picked a bulletproof truck, used some low-level explosives, didn't kill nobody because he just wanted to draw attention to himself. They try to prompt him up to be this quote unquote patriot. He drew attention because he wanted everybody to know America's on the verge of World War III with China. If some attention ain't brought to what's going on, don't listen to the UFO talk regarding the drones. America knows exactly what it is, what's going on. It's China flexing. It could lead to retaliatory things. He's willing to sacrifice himself. You're right. They definitely they definitely aren't saying like, this dude was mentally ill and all that, man. The dude was definitely he was deep in the chain of command. His reputation was very highly regarded. But they're trying to make him seem like, hey, this guy was just a patriot trying to, warn everybody and sacrifice himself for the greater cause of averting a world war. Who knows? What we do know is the fact that these things are happening in succession, I believe, is just the beginning. I've been saying America's is getting headed towards financial, let alone civil, um, and even international, multiple facets of war. It's going to be civil asset, civil matters of war, whether it's, multiple more terrorist attacks that happen or so-called terrorist attacks that happen, a biological war because they got plagues galore ready to go. Some they already let loose already. World war, and financial. They're gonna collapse. The dollar's already in trouble. The markets is jacked up. The real estate commercial market is jacked up. America's back to borrowing more money. It's gonna be a lot of different attacks, man. This place is under 2025. And if you remember the Daigle report, the Daigle report was talking about mass casualties in the multi-millions in 2025, right? So everybody knows about this guy, man. Just throwing that out there. Go check that Sean Ryan show out. I think it just came out because it was on my feed. I never really watched too much of the guy's channel, but somehow it was on my feed. Got damn near 2.5 million views within 24 hours. But very interesting episode that they had. They even led to speculation that the dude might still be alive because the DNA of the body didn't match his son's. So there could be speculation that it was somebody else, they got thrown in the mix and said it was him and he did his quote unquote patriotic duty and he's off to who knows where. Because in the email it said that he said if he doesn't make it to Mexico, know that this is it. He sent the email the December 31st. And basically was like, this is the last time you're gonna hear from me. Either I'm gonna make it to Mexico or I'm not. But nonetheless, take it for what it's worth. But they're definitely trying to give him a little bit more light and just questioning. Well, why would he? Well, the Jake, yeah, he got radicalized 100% ISIS and literally he's on. Both ex-military. Now that the Jake was more on some. I think he was more on the intelligence and IT situation. This guy was more frontline Green Beret. So I don't think they had any relation with each other. But we're just seeing things happening over and over again. And we're going to see them continually pick up pace because what? The time is going to be cut short. The bomber who blew up the Tesla Cybertruck outside the Trump International Hotel in Las Vegas has been identified as Army Service member Matthew Livesberger. Although officers have not publicly named Livesberger 37 as the bomber, senior law enforcement confirmed his identity. Livesberger served over 19 years in the Army, 18 of which he spent with Special Forces, according to his LinkedIn profile. His current role was listed as the Remote and Autonomous Systems Manager, which he had been in for just 3 months. And of course, they say, oh, he had divorces and all kind of issues. So, who knows? Yes, there you go, Laquad. That's why I'm like, yeah, there's a lot of strange things going on, man. So somehow he remotely, shut the car off, blast himself in the head with the Desert Eagle. The DNA samples that they were able to collect doesn't match with his son, so they the speculation that the dude might still be alive. It was another body that that they're going to account for his. Don't be surprised if there's not a military burial. The dude gets cremated. Who knows what's going to happen, man. Yeah, Parat, you talking about Jason Bourne, for real. Truth is stranger than fiction, man. I can say that much. Esau always is going to, put out some things as we know. Let's look at that scripture in Psalm 64. We always read it because he's constantly doing it. Psalm 64 and 8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. He's always going to tell on themselves. That's the guilt of the so-called white man. Is what they classify as white guilt. Why do they even have to classify it as quote unquote white guilt? Why is he always got to be guilty of something? Just like they say white trash, Either you part of the poverty scale or you not. Why do they have to be classified as separatized as, oh, this the white trash? Those are the white folks that's poor. Look at them. Ooh, little dirty white folks. Zombies over there in Philly or whatever that city is over there in Philly, man. They run around with zombified on them drugs. crank or whatever they on. But a white lie, white guilt, white trash, like that lets you know that there's a supremacy that's lined up by them. They're running it. They've got the privilege, right? And if there's any ones that they leave as casualties of war that need to be singled out, they're going to classify them as, oh, it's the white guilt, it's the white this, it's the white that. Like, why do they have to have their own separate classification? If it's part of a greater whole, like everybody's supposed to be subject to the same thing. No, they get victimized through their own people. So white guilt kicks in and it makes them acknowledge their wrongs, iniquities, and folly before it's all said and done. So they'll tell you through a movie, they'll tell you through is that what it is? I appreciate it, Sister Catherine. Kennington, Pennsylvania. Yeah, you see that, man. You talk about wastelands, zombies all over the place, man. They over there suspended animation, frozen, slumped over. I mean, it looked worse than Skid Row in some instances. At least Skid Row, man, they running around lively. They down there fighting, doing whatever they doing. They eating, they gang banging, they shooting up, they got their tents lined up. But over there, whew, nasty. But yeah, Esau gonna tell on himself, man. So whether it's a Jason Bourne situation, who knows? But everything all and all that they seen. But yeah, the Sean Ryan show they just put out that this past episode revealed the email, the manifesto, and everything from this dude. Seems as though everything checked out and ain't on the up and up. So we'll see. More on that to come in the future. Look at it. Trains halted. FBI involved. Explosive device found on a train car in Treasure Valley. This is in Idaho. Shout out to Niquab. He send me another brothers this. So they almost had a train explosions on quote unquote New Year's. Explosive device found. Police halted train activity for hours after footprints in the snow led officers to an explosive device on the train car on New Year's Day. The Payette Police Department said it received a report, quote, regarding a suspicious subject who was seen, quote, attempting to light something on fire near a parked rail car on the 600 block of North 8th Street in Payette. So this is in Idaho. They're winding up all of these little, broke, jacked up operatives, who knows, sleeper cells, or they just somehow are all deciding on quote unquote New Year's Day 2025 to try to get some things cracking here. And this is just the first wave. Again, I'm anticipating some more stuff jumping up. New Year's violence rattles the U.S., right? So New Year's, yeah, starting off with a bang. Look, at least 10 wounded in a mass shooting outside of Queens nightclub. Why is this not getting more publicity? Anytime there's a mass shooting, isn't this worldwide, supposedly countrywide news? Oh no, it's only because there were teenage niggas and over there in Jamaica, Queens. Nobody cares about that. At least 10 people, mainly teenagers, were injured in a mass shooting outside a nightclub in Queens on Wednesday night, according to sources and the NYPD. First of all, if it's a nightclub, how you got teenagers in there? I mean, what's the age limit? Second of all, again, there they go, reveling and partying and acting a damn fool out where they weren't supposed to be. This is exactly why things happen. A group of 4 men fired at least 30 gunshots into a crowd that gathered near the Amazura nightclub in Jamaica just before 11:20 p.m. after a private event at the location, according to cops and sources. 6 females, 4 males, ranging from 16 to 20, were struck by bullets, NYPD officials said at a Thursday morning press conference. There you have it. Following the multitude to do evil. Oh, a private event. So they rented out the club, private event. They got teens coming in, popping. What's the private event? Oh, New Year's party. You already know. Jay's getting shot up over there. Look at this. 2 killed, 5 other hurt. New Year's house party at a mass shooting in Kankakee. Kankakee is in where's that place at? I think it's in I want to say Indiana or Chicago. Hold on. Where is Kankakee? Illinois. All right. I was going to say Indiana. Illinois, right? Outside of Chicago, 2 killed, 5 others. Look, 3 killed, 17 wounded in the New Year's shootings in Chicago. I mean, this is like daily news in Chicago. So, most people aren't really tripping. Why the co-af and all of that. Because in Chicago, that's normal news, right? But no, we're looking at the event. We're looking at the time. Where Negroes out hanging out? Oh, New Year's. You're going to find some niggas out on the street. You're going to find them in the clubs. You're going to find them hanging out, partying in the backyard. Oh, yeah. 3 killed, 17 wounded. You ain't hearing about this. Why? Because we're getting flooded with New Orleans. We're getting flooded with Tesla Cybertrucks. You're getting flooded with the college football bowl games. Meanwhile, Jakes is dropping like flies or finding themselves in the damn triage ER hospitals in droves, and they get swept under the rug. Where's that at in Wisdom of Solomon 5? Now you wonder why don't nobody give a damn. Look at this. Wisdom of Solomon 5, and this is verse 4. Yeah, let me just get right to the point for time's sake. We fools accounted his life madness and his end to be without honor. See, this is the nations, and this is Esau in particular, when they see the strangeness of our salvation, when they see we're among the lot of the chosen people of the Most High God, they're going to be repenting and groaning, saying, this is the people, man, we thought their life was madness. We thought, we could undermine it and take for granted them shooting and killing each other in Chicago and LA and in Memphis and in Atlanta and in New York. You dig what I'm saying? Oh, we thought their lives was madness as they were, killing each other and wilding out in El Salvador and Guatemala and Mexico. Who cares? Let them niggas kill each other. We fools are coming to life matter. Yeah, all they do is smoke crack, and all they do is do fentanyl and gangbang and prostitute themselves. Yeah, let them kill themselves. Never newsworthy enough to get in there and really stop or do anything. You got billions of dollars you can send over there to continually fight a war and to engage in war in Ukraine. But you can't spare a few $1 million to end wars in Chicago, LA, Alabama, Memphis. You dig what I'm saying? Like all Jakes need is some damn money, resources, and opportunities to occupy their time. Because the scriptures say that idleness teaches much evil. So yeah, we know there's history behind bloodshed, deadly wars, people, family members being killed, the whole nine. We know that. But if you give Jake something to keep them away from thinking about revenge, brothers and sisters will divert their attentions, and they will say, as long as they stay over there, I'm not tripping. We over here, we got community centers, we got money, we got businesses, we got things that we trying to empower our people over here. As long as we don't see them, we cool. If you give brothers and sisters those opportunities, I guarantee you, crime, all that's gonna go down. But they ain't trying to invest in it. Man. They barely got community centers anymore. Why? What happened? The YM, even though Jakes is always using that as grounds to recruit, do dirt. Boys and girls clubs, YMCA, all them things that barely exist anymore, man. Me and Elder Rashab, he used to always get on us back in the day, dealing with us and rap and all the other stuff. His acronym is repulsive and pathetic, and Me and other brothers being young Jakes, man, we should always be zealous trying to fight back, man. Rap, blah 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 blah. We paying y'all homage by sampling the music and giving y'all props. But he was right, because when you really look at it, we learn technology of how to sample and take from, but not create. But who do we thank that for? Man, the school system. You're taking instrumentation out of the system, out of the schools. Man, there ain't no more learning about instruments and bands and all that. I mean, I guess some still have programs where you get like in the black colleges and stuff like that. People are getting scholarships to play particular instruments, but the whole foundation is jacked up now, right? But this is the so-called white. He said, man, we counted this fool, and we counted his life as madness and his end to be without honor. How is he numbered among the children of the Most High and his lot among the saints? They're going to be scratching their head, and they still sitting back trying to fight it and say, man, black Hebrew Israelites, that's a cult. They're racist. They can't be the saints of God because they don't like the white man. Yeah, they're going to be astonished and saying, damn, they were onto something. Us having this damn Stockholm syndrome and wanting to save our enemies and wanting to create this utopia that everybody is a child of God. No. Only time I see child of God is associated with the children of Israel. Thus saith the Lord. In any context of us being, we are the children of God, is always in context of an Israelite. We're all my children. Sorry. Not sorry. But this is the legacy, man. You barely hear about this stuff unless it's local news. Right? And then you see this damn witch. After we get out the violence, let's not forget the next thing. Remember Peter Hotez? He said January 21st, man, they finna let loose the beast. This is so-called conspiracy running around talking about the fog. I don't know, out here we've experienced some fog and overcast in the mornings, the last couple of weeks, on various days. But there's a little conspiracy saying in the fog there's they let loose some damn environmental virus with that. I know a lot of people been getting sick within the last couple of weeks. So who knows? We know this devil is definitely busy, and he's dropping some stuff out there, man. But check out this little Moabite broad, man. As she says, Dr. Leanna Wynn, she's saying it's time to get the pokes ready for the bird flu. Former Baltimore health official has sparked backlash after she asked Joe Biden to authorize the bird flu jabs before leaving office. Before you go, you done started the war, you done crashed the economy, and did this. Can you authorize us to start poking and get this thing out here mandatory? You can see Gavin Newsom, he already's on board. State of emergency, California. Oh, we got a lot. We got to get on board. Let's watch her. She wants the jabs ready to go. Any surprises there? You should have learned your lesson. Remember, that was the beta test. The DVOG 91. Oh, that was a beta test. That was just kind of saying, you didn't learn your lesson. Well, what did Bill Gates say? The next one's going to get their attention. Because him and his big nose ex-wife was sitting next to each other, giggling on the couch. And now here she goes, talking about that. You didn't learn your lesson? Okay, we're going to double back on you. You hear that? She said, don't even wait for the CDC, the WHO to verify. Just assume that it is and go get it. Just assume that something's going on. Don't wait for confirmation. Just go. Get on board. See, and they already got, I showed y'all the articles already. They already rolled them out in Europe. 5 million in the UK, other countries on board. Here she go trying to push it. Let's see, now she being the devil because there's no sound. Huh? No sound. Okay, let me back it up. Back it up now. Why not? Let's see. How about now? Did y'all hear? If it's sound, let me know. Interesting. Okay. I wonder what's going on here. Wonder why this thing is up. Speakers up. Let me try one more time. Very interesting. Okay. I don't know what the hell's going on or why it can't hear me or can't hear her. But nonetheless, uh yeah, this is interesting. Okay, this is Face the Nation. You see on X. It says amid concerns about the bird flu, the Biden administration should be making rapid tests available and ask the FDA to authorize the already existing H5N1 vaccine, says former Baltimore Health Commissioner Dr. Leanna Wen. And she says, quote, I feel like we should have learned our lesson from the big C word, that just because we aren't testing doesn't mean the virus isn't there. In this video, she also says we shouldn't be waiting for the FDA. I mean, we shouldn't be waiting for the CDC or the WHO to verify. Like, we should just automatically be out there authorizing it and getting poked up. So why this ain't playing, I'm not sure. Nonetheless, it's okay. We'll move on. We'll read a little bit of this. Because I did quote some of her interview. It says, quote, there are two main things that we should be doing in the days that we have left, said the public health professor at George Washington University. The first is to get testing out there. We should have learned our lesson from the vid, that just because we're not testing, it doesn't mean that the virus isn't there. Now, why she said we should be doing with the days that we have left is because she later on said we don't know what the Trump administration is going to do. If you got anti-V people in the cabinet speaking about Robert Kennedy Jr. Now, mind you, he was anti-DVOC jab, but he said he's all down with regular jabs. He said him and his whole family been giving it, but they keep running with the narrative. Oh, they anti-V all the way. No, Esau's Esau. He's still pushing it, just like Agent Orange. Agent Orange is the one who signed off on Operation Warp Speed. And even after he got elected, even after he lost office, he still was running around saying, "Go get it. It's fine. It's fine." So they're running around with this whole fake narrative, like, "Oh, well, you don't know. Agent Orange might say no, and nobody can get access to it, and you're all gonna die." Well, meanwhile, he was promoting the jab. He was the one who initiated warp speed. So they're trying to pressure people into thinking, "Well, yeah, let's get it done," because he's probably gonna say we can't be safe and we can't get poked. So any type of legislation that they get put out there, they want people to support it because they're putting out these fake lies to make it seem like the opposition is going to say you can't get it, but you're going to get it, and you better. They out here playing games for real, but it's only going to show you. Here they go. They're already pushing for the pokes, right? Look, 5 million jabs ordered in the UK, preparing for the next one, and we know that Bill Fake said the next one's going to get everyone's attention. You know, so they already got the next one's ready to go. Oh, look at this. Face mask mandates return in multiple states as doctors warn of a quademic of 4 viral infections. Hello? How long have we been talking about this? Quadruple whammy of viruses are hitting the U.S. as millions go back to work after the folly days, data show. And for sure, people are out there getting sick. I'm seeing it. I know people getting sick. I got sick a few weeks back. After, all praise to the Most High, years of not being sick, whatever this, they out here delving out. They making a whole damn cocktail of stuff. Quademic, 4 in 1. Or 4. You might get two of the 4, one of the 4, all 4. Official figures reveal that infections by the flu, vid, RSV, a respiratory illness that causes the cold, and norovirus, sometimes called the stomach flu, all started the surge over the Christmas period when families gathered to celebrate. Yeah, come together. Come on in. Come celebrate the birth of Jesus and take this back with you and spread it around. I mean, this is wild. And experts say figures will only continue to rise over the coming weeks as the U.S. heads into the peak period of its annual flu season. Oh, it's only going to rise. Yeah, because Peter Hotez said we got some more coming in about 18 more days, 17 more days. Oh, mystery disease outbreak in China overwhelms hospital in a chilling echo of the. Oh, imagine that. Social media posts alleging to be from China show crowds of patients overwhelming hospitals, hospital wards, and parents holding sick children. Many are wearing face masks. A mystery disease outbreak in China. How did this all start 4 years ago? Oh, okay. Need I say more? Again, I speak to y'all as much as I speak to myself, man. Be safe out there. Get your preventative care up. Get your immune systems at its peak as best you can, from the black seed oil to the echinacea to the golden seal to your vitamin C's to vitamin D from what else we got out there? Elderberry, emergency. You got to take a whole cocktail of stuff to keep your immune system running at a high level. Don't wait till you start feeling the symptoms and then you're jumping on it. Try as you can daily, invest in your health. You understand? And that's scriptural. And the Apocrypha. Sirach 30 and 15. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. That's right. You only got one frame to live in this place, right? until your spirit gets regenerated, whatever. Um, Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth. So taking care of this little fleshly frame that we're stuck in right now, is important because they definitely are trying to debilitate and take out as many as they can, man. So we got to be responsible and taking care of ourselves as best as we can. Uh, yeah, absolutely. The mullein is good for asthma, respiratory, clearing out mucus. Uh, that's definitely good too. So do your research, man. Make sure y'all investing because they got all kind of stuff they about to just keep flooding out there. Let alone we're not eating foods that's got real substantial minerals and sustainable nutrients in it, man. That's gonna help. So you gotta supplement. Don't think, oh, I'm eating my vegetables every day. The vegetables is all jacked up. They ain't got the damn nutrients that they're supposed to. Especially when they're cooked down, they become even less, uh, more nutrient. So you have to supplement with additional herbs and vitamins to keep yourself up. Don't be afraid to do a little walking, do a little jumping jack in the house. If you ain't got no gym membership, hit some push-ups, brothers. Do what you got to do. But know that these bastards is on the warpath, man, and the biological war is about to kick back off again. All right. Look at a terrifying region. Hundreds of birds are falling dead from the sky in Pennsylvania. And they're saying, oh, it's because of the bird flu. Hundreds of dead birds have been reportedly falling from the sky in dystopian scenes in Pennsylvania. The culprit is thought to be the H5N1 bird flu strain that has been devastating poultry and dairy farms across the U.S. and sporadically infecting people. Wildlife nonprofit in the Poconos confirmed dozens of snow geese had tested positive for the virus. So now the birds are just dropping out the sky in Pennsylvania, dropping dead. Hosea 4, 1 down to 3. Hear the word of Yahweh, you children of Israel, for Yahweh have a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there's no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the Most High in the land. By swearing and lying and killing and stealing and committing adultery, they break out and blood touches blood. See all the evils compacted upon the earth. Why the Most High has a controversy with the inhabitants of the land? No truth, no mercy under the inhabitants of the land. Who controls the land? The wicked, the white man. All of his influences create what? Swearing, lying, killing, stealing, committing adultery. Scriptures say that the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor, but the ways of the wicked seduceth them. Everybody's feeding off of the poison tit of the damn mother of harlots, and blood touches blood. But look at this: the earth, the animals, the inhabitants thereof, all get affected by it. Verse 3: Therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish. With the beasts of the field, we've seen massive cow die-offs within the last year and a half, right? Oh, let me see if I can get this dude on. Let's see if this one will play. Hopefully. He's supposed to have been retired. He's supposed to be out the game. But they still dig his old bones up with this old fake green screen in the background. Who knows where he's at? He's probably in some damn lab bubbling up something right now. But if he pops out saying anything regarding what's happening right now, it's a problem. Frankenstein Fauci. Let me see if I can get him up. Let's see. He ain't playing either. I don't know what's up with it. Why these damn Twitter things ain't, or is this Twitter? Yeah, X. I don't know why the audio ain't playing today, but something ain't right. But anyway, this dude is he says that, hold on. He's saying that the thing that's flying around right now can affect more than one species. And he said you got to watch for the pigs, which they already got swine flu. Let me see. He said chickens are on farms where cows and pigs. I'm gonna throw this in the chat. Maybe if y'all want to listen to it, go check it out. It's very interesting because he is insinuating that because the chickens and the cows share the same farms, pigs are next and possibly the cows. But he stressed the pigs, which means what? Don't be surprised if swine flu pops up in the very near future. And it's why the Most High said, man, stay away from that damn swine. Because Jake gonna get everything you want when you sopping up them damn chitlins and bacon and all the other stuff. Right? But he definitely is insinuating swine as the next thing that could come in contact with the bird flu. Getting back over here to Hosea 4. It says, therefore shall the land mourn, and everyone that dwelleth therein shall languish with the beasts of the field, and with the fowls of heaven. Yea, the fishes of the sea also shall be taken away. So the fowls of heaven, so we see that the birds getting affected. This ain't the first time we've heard about birds dropping dead out the sky. They, the 1 minute they blaming the microwave towers, i.e. the cell towers. The next they blaming, it's bird flu making them drop out the sky. The bottom line is the Most High is making them drop out the side. He said he's got a controversy with the inhabitants of the land. The land's going to languish. Everyone's going to mourn. The fowls, we've seen fishes washing up on the shores by the thousands from everywhere from Japan to Marina Del Rey over the years, right? So the fact that we're seeing this happen is prophetic, and we see why the Most High is doing it. But they're blaming the bird flu. Here's some good news. I know y'all always say, man, damn, DSCM, anything good? Sure. Look at this. Churches are fighting to stay open as attendance dwindles. All praise to the Most High. See, our people is finally, waking up. They're running out in droves. This is why they're sending out these damn goofy operatives trying to save the church. Jumping out. We'll have a debate with the Israelites about is God, is there a triune God? We'll debate the Trinity. We'll debate of salvation for everybody. Somebody got to stop them. It's too late, man. Our people are realizing that they're not being fed. Hold on. They're not being fed what the Most High prescribed. They're not being led by by righteous, sincere men of the Lord that's been chosen. Right. Jeremiah 3:15. It says, I will give you pastors according to my heart. You have to be chosen by the Most High. The Most High will select you. Remember, even Christ said, ye have not chosen me, but I've chosen you in John the 15th chapter. Right. I didn't go to a seminary school, Bible college. I wasn't under the tutelage of, some bishop or some preacher to raise me up under a religious microscope or a denomination. Most of us all got this from the word, from the Most High. You may have had a zeal for him, but not according to knowledge, according to, Romans 10. But to get the right understanding had to come from the Most High. The Most High said he's going to give you pastors or teachers according to his heart. We'll be directed by the heart of the Most High, right? And the more that a man fears the Lord, the more that your direction and your path is going to be according to the mind of the Most High, and the more sincere you are in leading. But it says, and I will give you pastors according to my heart, which is going to do what? Feed you with knowledge and understanding. What are our people getting fed in these churches? They're getting fed feel good. They're getting fed religion. They're getting fed prosperity, doctrine. They're getting fed extortion. Look at the Bling bishop over there in New York that got 9 years for extorting and taking money from the Mole sisters over there. The Lord said our people are supposed to get knowledge and understanding. And now when our people start looking and they're looking online and they're seeing the Israelites and they're seeing, information and history, and they're like, what's going on? How come I'm not hearing about this in my church? Let me go ask the pastor. Let me bring this out in the Bible study. Let me go ask the deacons. Let me go ask the junior pastors. What's happening? And they're telling me, hey, don't listen to those guys. They're in the cult. Those guys are racist. Hey, you know what? No. Here, just listen to here. You've been raised in the church your whole life. Your whole family's here. Why are you trying to stray away from the flock? Yeah, that's dangerous. But you're not getting any knowledge. You're not getting any understanding. You're not getting scriptural reasoning as to why or getting a grip on what's going on. Everybody can see and feel in the spirit something ain't right with what's going on in the earth. And if your pastor cannot relate to you according to the word of the Lord, what is going on from the prophecies to how do you be protected to enforcing the laws and the commandments and righteousness within our nation, then you're in trouble. Because see, that's the only thing that's going to get our people up. I think it's in Proverbs 14 and 34, is it? Yeah. If they're not telling you how to get right, look, righteousness exalteth the nation. And according to Deuteronomy 6 and 25, it tell you that righteousness is the keeping of the law. Or is that Leviticus 25:55? I think it's Deuteronomy 6:25. If I'm off on that, yeah, 6:25. The servants of the Lord is Leviticus 25:55. But nonetheless, how do we get right? Through righteousness. That's what's going to uplift and exalt our nation back to where we're supposed to be. But sin is a reproach to any people. And what are they telling us? Hey, you want to go out there and commit sin? The law's done away with. You're under grace and mercy. You got that old fat goofy Jake running around still talking about one under the law of liberty and gloating and being a damn hold on one second, yo, Salaki. The water. Good Lord. I've been over here bumping my gums, man. I'm glad that y'all chimed in. The what? Verse 7, one more time. It says, how shall I pardon thee for this? Thy children have forsaken me and sworn by them that are no gods. And that's what ends up happening, man. Our people are out here swearing by Caesar Borgia, swearing by Santa Claus, swearing by the Easter Bunny, swearing by 1776 and Independence Day on July 4th. But every time we come up and combat these things and try to bring our people back away from that, they fighting tooth and nail about how it's not that big a deal. Oh, you're making too much of it. Yeah, we know. We don't do that. It's about the Thanksgiving. Oh, it's about it's about family. And then you got that one Jake, man. I don't even know the dude's name, man. That old fat Jake that's running around here, scoffing, trying to go viral, attacking the camps, talking about we're under the law of liberty. We can eat what we want. We're not under the law of Moses. So I guess he has no problem with, homosexuals. He got no problem with cross-dressing. He got no problem with rape and adultery. I guess there's no problem with none of that. With all those things, he's got no problem with, usury, charging your brother interest if you loan him some money. So you got no problem with any of that, I guess. But anyway, this is what ends up happening. And the children end up forsaking the Most High because why? The parents are enforcing these lies. Some woman left a comment on our video the other day talking about what's wrong with it. Nothing's wrong with telling our kids about a tooth fairy. We're just trying to inspire the kids to be good. Like, what? I don't even need to explain the logic in that foolishness. But y'all know. This is what's in people's minds. This is what they're trying to defend and say it's okay. Continuing on, it says, when I have fed them to the full, they then committed adultery and assembled themselves by troops in the hardest houses. So our people are tired of being pimped. Our people are tired of being treated like hoes in these places. The hardest houses are the churches, where they're being extorted. They're coming in, they're bringing in their money, and they ended up paying out, thinking that holiness is gain. I pay off this, I pay off that. I remember when Eddie Long, when he had his whole scandal jumping off, and this fool had the nerve to have a first fruits ceremony, class or whatever he was doing, a sermon talking about first fruits. Meanwhile, he wasn't keeping Pentecost. He wasn't enforcing it. Didn't go to Leviticus 23 at all. Didn't go to any scriptures. Didn't go to nothing regarding first fruits. But he was talking about that was the first fruits of his, comeback. After his scandals, before the Most High took his spirit from him. And a woman came out the crowd, handed him a stack of money. He just received it, and he said, oh, praise God, this is the first fruits. This is where we started. I said, Negro, if this ain't a damn setup and a play that you trying to run on the people, some old woman come up with shades on, wearing all black, and she come up with a stack of money, hands it to him, and in the middle of his ceremony, in the middle of his damn sermon, trying to inspire the people to give him back more money, to get him back on his, here's the first fruits. As he went on trying to seduce the people. People are tired of that. They tired of damn fork tongue, slithering Joel Osteen smiling every time he says something and trying to get people to listen to his foolishness. There's Negroes still listening to Joel Osteen, and you don't hear too much about Cash Flow Dollar no more. I don't know what happened to him. I'm not tuning in, but usually he's still on the radar. But I ain't seen nothing, heard nothing about him in a while. You see, TD Fakes, he's getting hit upside the head. If it ain't the freak off allegations, he having strokes on stage, and it's all over the place. There's mom and pop crack houses all over the hood. Like people are leaving, and they're not with it. All praise to the Most High, because now people are looking for the truth. People are starting to research more. They're being exposed to more information. Daniel 12 says that knowledge is going to abound in these last days. People are tired of being seduced by the foolishness. And they ain't falling for it no more. And guess what they're going to start coming to? The elected, the chosen, those that really searching out the most. They're going to come back to their to their nationality. They're going to come back to the laws and the commandments. We're winning, Israel. All praise to the Most High. They ain't running to where was they? Either they only run into two options. They're gonna run to the good or they're gonna run to the evil. And we know that the numbers and the scales is gonna say more is gonna run to the evil. That's cool. We understand 2/3 of our people are gonna get put to death. They ain't gonna want it. But there is gonna be always a remnant that's gonna return. And them doors is opening, and them church doors is closing. Continuing on here, Jeremiah 5:27. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore, they become great and waxing rich. Yeah, people are tired of seeing the pastors rolling out and having all this money and balling and all that. I remember it was years ago, man. One of my coworkers said that his grandma, devout member of some church, fell on hard times. She paid her tithes every week and blah blah blah. She fell on hard times. She needed some money. She reached out to the church. Church gave her a loan with interest. You would think that the money in the storehouse would save that, man. They could have helped that elderly sister, man, who's always been there to support the church and paid money for years. But as soon as she needed a little money, man, they charged her an interest-based loan. Imagine that. True story. They become waxing rich, man. People ain't with it. And they running for cover. Right? So all praise to the Most High for that. That's good news. During the final mass at the All Saints Parish in Buffalo, New York on a warm Sunday in July, the priest encouraged a few parishioners who came to take comfort in Holy Scripture. Remember last week when a couple weeks ago, Al-Adai's class about Revelation 1 and 3. And I pulled up the article showing that the Vatican is close to bankruptcy because of lack of donations and people are leaving the damn Catholic Church. So imagine that, man. Houses of worship all around the country are adopting varying strategies trying to survive. Yes, indeed. All praises. This is why they don't like Russia. Look, Russia finds partygoers for looking too gay. I seen another video, man. They was raiding sodomite bars, cracking down on them. This is why they don't like. One of the reasons they don't like Russia. Imagine that, man. But guess what? That nothing wrong with what they're doing. Matthew, let me look it up in the blue letter so we can see this real quick. Matthew 11. And let's look at 7 and 8. It's Yahushua speaking about John. Now it says, and as they departed, Yahushua began to say unto the multitudes concerning John, what went ye out into the wilderness to see? A reed shaking with the wind? Speaking about John, he said, well, you're out there seeking out John. You want the pathway to salvation. What you think? He's going to be shook up about everybody that he's seen? John stood strong, prophesied about the incoming Messiah, right? But here's another thing. It says, but what went ye out to see? A man clothed in soft raiment? Behold, they that wear soft clothing are in kings' houses. Well, this is why it's important to understand about the dress code. This is why it's important to understand about how the Most High dictated masculine and effeminate wear, right? Look at this word in the Greek, malakos, soft. Malakos, i.e. fine clothing, figuratively academite or what? Effeminate. And we know according to 1 Corinthians 6 and 9, an effeminate cannot receive the kingdom of the Most High. So even that leads down to quote unquote gay clothing, effeminate. A boy kept for homosexual relations with a man. Pedophile, male prostitute. I mean, look, he said that's what the rulers wear, I remember back in the days, we tried to try to teach class and tell Jakes, man, when the skinny jeans and all that was going on, we said, tell Jakes, man, hey, get out them clothes. Y'all cannot be wearing that. That's feminine clothing. You know, back then it was Jake. Not saying the brothers that was in the, came in the truth was that, but I used to see young Jakes, man. They was in the damn stores buying and shopping in the women's sections to get them little skinny jeans on. I was at the store and the damn Jake had black fingernail polish on. Is he, ringing up my stuff? It's out of control. So now we see Russia cracking down saying, man, if you looking, your garments looking too soft, you're getting fined. And that's why America's saying, we don't like that because we embrace Sodom and Gomorrah. So imagine that. Puerto Rico's power grid collapsed during the quote unquote New Year. Took them a couple of days to get the power back up. So there was a lot going on that first quote unquote day of the year. 58% of the clients were without power on the island. The cause of the grid collapse is under investigation. These are just beta tests, man. America can turn off the lights anytime they want to. That's why it's important to make sure you got some backup storable power somehow. I don't care if it's candles, flashlights, if you got a backup generator, you got a solar generator. Make sure you got something to keep everything functional in your home because, you can see what they do to Cuba. You see what they do to Puerto Rico. You see what they do over in Africa. Anytime they want to shut the lights off, man, they're going to do it. They trying to see how people react. Puerto Rico, when they got hit with the hurricanes, they was out for months without power. So, I'm sure they was probably used to it. For a couple of days, they figured it out. But if you ain't got refrigeration, if your food goes bad, your medicines that may need to be stored or whatever, it can be down. It can be a problem. You dig what I'm saying? So that's that. I'm sure everybody's also heard about and you notice too, a lot of the oops, lock it. Let me see if this one will play. Because if not, something is definitely going on. Before we go, because I got to run in a hot second. Oh, maybe. Okay, hold on. Maybe that was it. Tell me now. Y'all can hear this.
Contracted with manufacturers to make almost 5 million doses of the vaccine. However, they have not asked the FDA to authorize the vaccine. There's research done on it. They could get this authorized now. And
I think I found out what happened with the audio. When you share when you share the screen, I think there's an audio sound. That was it. For time's sake, I'm just gonna put the link in there, and y'all can check it out. I messed up. That was on me. I didn't put the audio on when I shared my screen. That was it. But you can see here. Everybody's seeing this video.
Today, New York's Attorney General released body cam video and called what happened shocking and disturbing. Here's Sam Brock, and a warning, this video is graphic.
Newly released shocking video shows these correctional officers fatally beating an inmate, Robert Brooks. The footage, blurred and redacted by state authorities, shows officers repeatedly kicking and punching Brooks in the legs and chest.
Now notice too, a lot of everything that's going on within this, the January 1st violence and everything else, this also is getting buried under the hype, right? And I try not to go too heavy with the Deuteronomy 28 trauma because it's just so much and it's just repetitive. It's like, how many times can we keep talking about the same thing? The only thing that's going to change is when our people repent. And then remember, vengeance is of the Lord's. We're going to get it back in blood. That's a fact. But Jeremiah 6:16 says, the word of Yahweh came also unto me, saying, thou shalt not take thee a wife, neither shalt thou have sons or daughters in this place. For thus saith Yahweh, concerning the sons and concerning the daughters that are born in this place, and concerning their mothers that bear them, and concerning their fathers that begat them in this land, they shall die of grievous deaths. See that? So when we're here in captivity in Babylon and we're going through and seeing these particular traumas, man. Now, granted, as I'm sure many will agree, the brother's locked up for 12 years for stabbing his girlfriend or stabbing his wife. That's evil within itself. But that's the Deuteronomy 28:54 curse. Did he deserve to get destroyed and killed like that? And I mean, that's of the Most High, right? But we still see that the things that are happening, and that's just one case, man. There's consistent inmate abuse in these prison systems. There's consistent manipulation and corruption that goes on in there, right? But the Lord said we're going to die grievous death. So we're going to hear about a Robert Brooks or Trayvon Martin or Eric Gardner, George Floyd, Corinne Gaines, Sandra Bland. The names go on. And we're witnessing them. Grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented. Yeah, people are going to hear about it. They ain't going to mourn. It's just going to be another nigga got beat by the cops. And we're moving on. Distant memories, man. And it's a shame because it's happening so much that it just becomes an afterthought. But that was prophesied. Neither shall they be buried, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine. And the carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. Yeah, we're going to die dishonorable deaths. It's a damn shame, but this is why, they got body cams and, of course, they turn the audio off, but somebody got the camera on and they did this Jake dirty, man. Real dirty. 13 of them. And what do we hear from it? 12 have been suspended without pay. And another one has been, he resigned. That's justice. Now, the 12 that, are on leave without pay, I'm sure they got unions that got supplemental, money that's going to help them while they're out. And police unions, that's what they're for. They ain't just going to sit back broke waiting for their next check. How come there's been no criminal charges? No. How do you not have immediate criminal charge? Why are they not immediately locked up? If you find me out on the street and I'm fighting and I'm beating the hell out of dude, you picking me up, cuffing me up, and I'm going straight to damn jail. Who knows if I'm going to have bail or not? These cats is on camera, choking the dude out, knocking him, knocking him to kingdom come, shoving stuff down his throat. There's another video they possibly were trying to throw him out a window. I don't know if that's true because I tried to look at the video. I'm trying to look and see if there was windows in there. I didn't see anything that really resembled a window, but who knows? But anyway, Ben got locked up. These cats, man, you get suspended from your job. You still have your job. How are you not fired immediately? How are there not criminal charges? And this happened early in December. The video's just now getting released. Again, Zechariah 11:5, they hold themselves not guilty. The whole nine. Disgusting. So, a lot for y'all to meditate on, chew on. All praise, honor, and glory to the Most High while you have a side, man. Prayerfully, everybody has a rest of your blessed Sabbath. We'll have our closing Sabbath class in a couple of hours. Maybe not even that long, man. So stay tuned. You're going to get another notification from MOTC. We're popping back up around 3:15 to close out the Shabbat according to our time frame over here. We're going to continue on serving the Lord, man. So y'all be well. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High. Always remember, fear the Most High, keep the commandments. Don't shoot the messenger. All right.